Mandalorians are not just learning about how to fight. You also have to know how to navigate the galaxy.
What up? I like that Darth Maul music at the end, Bubba. That was fire. This is the first episode roundtable review of Mandalorian Season 3. We have the usual suspects in the house. The gang's all back. It is myself. I will be your moderator, I guess, so to speak, host of the show, Comment Chat. Also have in the house my main man, Anzo of Bigger for Entertainment, Chris Knight of The Real Review 3000, Shifty Jism, and also Mr. Austinator. What up, fellas? How y'all doing?
Hello. Good.
Oh.
Well, I hope, because I don't know, it's hard to say sometimes. I hope this will be better than the roundtable we just got off of, because I'm a big fan of Mandalorian. This is my jam. We're going to get right into it like we usually do on this. We go around saying overall. What's up, Creighton? Overall views, and then next we go to what I likes, then our dislikes, and then our grades and our predictions for what the upcoming episodes. I think it's going to be 8 again, like it was last season. So
yep.
I think everybody on here. I'm not sure what alternator clips of Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau, who I think Jon Favreau is the showrunner of this. Different interviews where they were asking them questions. And I really liked the interview because Jon Favreau asked one of the interviewers, "What did they see? What did the fans see as a fan? What could he have done? What could they have done to improve the show?" So I really thought that. I don't think he was patronizing. I think he was really asking, and I think he's listening. So, did y'all see that the interview I sent y'all? I think I sent everybody on the stream.
Yep, yeah, I saw it.
So, Chris, you're muted.
Thanks, Hazel.
I have not. I have not seen it yet, but yes, I did see that you sent it. I will watch it though.
Did you get to watch it, Austinator?
I have not. No.
Okay. Basically, it was him on one of them. I sent 2 clips. One was him and Dave Filoni, and they were talking a little bit about this season. And I want to think how I think this season is going to kind of open the door for Ahsoka. I think we're going to see some of that. We already see it in one of the Easter eggs we're going to talk about earlier. When they were in the, what do you call that thing? In the warp field, I guess. When they're in warp.
Oh, the Purgle?
Yeah. So that is, if you watch Rebels, that is a creature that was revealed or introduced in Rebels. It's kind of where the creatures they took Thrawn and Ezra to the farther region, the nether region, whatever the hell you call it, of the galaxy. So that makes me believe that we may possibly see them, because if you watch the last episode of Rebels, it had Ahsoka and Sabine going after them. So I'm thinking now, I could be wrong, but any more talking about that? Anzo, What were
Yes,
your
sir.
overall thoughts of the opening episode of season 3?
I didn't hate it again, but I didn't think it was great either. I don't know, man. I'm just at the point where I'm just like, man, with Star Wars until it's doing something good, right? So I thought it was okay. It's a pretty decent start. I have some likes and I have some dislikes, to be honest with you. So it's okay.
See, for Anzo to say that he's mad with Star Wars, he has to get one of these right here.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. May God have mercy on your soul.
You can never be
Wow.
mad with Star Wars.
Yes, you
I
can.
actually got to send you the Sarlacc Pit one.
I've got hope for Star Wars. I'm never going to be mad with Star Wars. I'm always going to see some positivity in Star Wars. I cannot go off on The Mandalorian like Austin just went off on Bad Batch. It ain't going to happen.
Oh, I could do that, absolutely. And I'm having big issues with the showrunners because the showrunners are sitting there on one of the clips. I don't know if it's one you sent me, but they're arguing about whether Luke was a Jedi and stuff like that. And this is Dave Filoni and Favreau sitting there arguing about this. I'm like, really?
I think they're trying to be. It's a simple acronym. KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. They're trying to overanalyze and psychoanalyze and be uber intelligent, all this kind of stuff. Stick to the rules. I mean, you can indulge, you can color outside the line a little bit, but don't go way over the Timbuktu when you're trying to get straight. I mean, that's what I have with them. You know what the formula is. Mm-hmm. Lightsabers, Jedi, Sith,
Space
badass
battles.
fight scene in space battle. Mm-hmm. You do that up, change the players, change a little bit of and you're gonna have, I think, a successful movie. You start trying to do all this crazy stuff.
And you know what they could do, Danny? They could simply call Mr. George Lucas and say, "Hey, George, at the end of Return of the Jedi, was Luke a Jedi? Yes or no?" George will say, "Yes, he was," or "No, he wasn't," and that's the end of it, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
I think they're okay to discuss it because everybody thinks differently.
Right. I will say, Chris Knight has had the best idea on Star Wars I've heard in about the past 2 or 3 years.
Thank you.
Sith and Jedi, that would be fire. Do like 3 seasons. 3 seasons of the Sith, 3 seasons of the Jedi, then let that progress to the next movie, whether you want to make it a trilogy. I would build up to that. I would use Disney Plus to be the vehicle to get us to that movie.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? I think the Tales of the Jedi thing that they did, those quick little things, that's a perfect way to do it. Because honestly, that was a really good idea.
I don't want it animated, though. I want it live action.
Well, okay. But I'm saying they could also do it that way if they wanted to. But no, you're right. Yeah, but I think that was kind of the idea that I felt like watching that. I was like, wow, this is pretty cool.
Yeah, but they could do just like they did Obi-Wan. Yeah. They could do another Jedi, or then the next season do a Sith, like you said, and then let their paths cross, and then let it culminate to the movie. That would be awesome.
Well, they might need to hire Chris because they announced today that they canceled Kevin Feige's Star Wars film. Also, they finally shelved Rogue Squadron.
Patty Jenkins and Kevin Feige's Star Wars has been shelved. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Mm-hmm. But at the same time, right? I prefer them do stuff like that than to rush something else that's garbage. If you need to take time to get a story correct, then do that. But just make sure you put a story in place that, is not going to divide the fan base, right? Put something good in there. Take time to do it. I think the biggest issue that they had with the sequels is that they rushed those shits out as soon as they bought Star Wars from Lucas. You know what I mean? We need to get a movie out.
Okay. The first one I don't have a problem with. It's the last two that I'm kind of like.
Well,
The Force Awakens, I don't have a problem with it.
Anzo, you may like the next film because it's looking like the one of the creators of Lost is going to be riding it. So,
you see, again, that's interesting. But do I really want like lost elements in my Star Wars, depending on how it's done? But if I think of the way they write their shows, because I think they're doing From too, so it seems like everything is kind of like the same kind of concept. I'm not sure how that would fit into a Star Wars movie. I'm not sure.
Supposedly it's set after the sequel, so
I think we get away from the sequels, and we get far away from them, far away from this trilogy or this series of movies that they had with the prequels, the originals, and the sequels. Get away from those and go completely different. That way, people can't complain about you ruining their lore and all kinds of stuff like that.
Yeah, I think the reason why they're doing that is because they want to incorporate Grogu in it somehow.
Oh yeah, Grogu is going to be a big thing because you could tell they love their creations, right? So they love Grogu, they love Ahsoka, and then anything else that they didn't create, they just pretty much shit on.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you too, them little creatures that was trying to build that robot, that wasn't up at marketing.
Oh,
I said I could see
Babu
the kids
Frick.
wanting them things.
Yeah, that was his cousin, What the Frick, and Frick Rick.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie. I think in Return of Rise of Skywalker, when that little thing popped up, I think that gave me the biggest laugh in that whole movie. Me and my son were just dying the way that thing was talking. But at the end of the day, like if that's what you're depending on to get people to like your stuff, I'm like, okay, no.
I think a lot of some of those movies I'm seeing, they like the Star Wars, the big names, they're trying to get merchandising because it's kind of like a double, well, 2 for 1. Yeah, we're gonna get the money for the ticket sales, but yeah, we're gonna get this because
they try, but I don't see no toys of these things. I've never seen a toy on the shelf of those characters from.
But it just came out.
No. Yeah, but I don't think they're going for toys anymore. Remember, one of the big things nowadays for kids, not like when we were kids, it was toys, but it's going to be Funko Pops. You'll see, it's going to be.
Yeah, some Funko Pops out there now.
It's going to be your add-ons to video games like the Skywalker Saga, because like Mandalorian's on there, all that stuff. They can do add-ons. They can give you the base package that has tons of characters, but for those people that want to play the Mandalorian and all that, they'll add that to it. That's where their money comes from now, not toys. Plus,
I don't know.
My grandson buy all them damn skins for them games. I can't think of the game.
Yeah. Plus, wait a minute.
Fortnite.
There's one other thing. One other thing. George Lucas still retains a lot of rights, if I remember right, on marketing for this. I think he has a clause in that sell out that he can still nix a lot of merchandising stuff.
And I'm sorry, Shifter, just one thing before I forget. It goes to the argument, and Chris, you said it right? Because they did a clip on this, just something different, but the Ariel has a new doll, right? So they put out the black Ariel doll, and someone on the post said, "Oh, well, the toys, how are toys selling?" And I was like, how is the toy selling? I'm like, no toys are really selling. That's not where the money is. Kids don't really play with toys anymore. So you're right. They're gonna do other things, video games and the Funko Pops and all of that stuff, because that's what's kicking off.
I think a certain age, and the only reason why I'm disagreeing with you on that particular point, Anzo, my 2 grandsons, oh my God, they can't get enough of toys. My oldest son, we got I didn't know this till about 2 months ago, but in the neighboring town, it's called Florence. It has the second largest comic book store on the East Coast. And they got one section of just Star Wars stuff, and my grandson goes hog wild. He goes there, and he got by every. Now I tell you too, the Legos. Oh my God, we can't Legos. They ain't none under $50. Not Star Wars.
Oh yeah.
No, I agree with you 100%. But I'm saying, like, compared to when we were kids, these kids ain't really playing with toys as much as we are. You know what I mean? You'll get the select few that will, but other than that, a certain age. But
but you always bring up Funko Pops. Those things, the time is ticking on them, because I just saw a report the other day where like 8 million unsold units of Funko Pops was buried in a landfill. They had to bury them because nobody bought them. But of course, it could have been just like crap from some random TV show that nobody wanted. But
they hard. I don't like the zombie ones. I see a lot of them in Walmart. Like
Yeah.
the zombie Hulk and the zombie Magneto. I don't like those, but I went there yesterday, like I said, this weekend, and they had like all of the Star Wars. They had all of the Avengers. They had all of like whatever comic book you could think of. They had it. They had like a Killmonger and a Black. I'm like, damn, I might need to get that and change up my room. But
Well, and the other thing is the biggest thing about it is it doesn't matter if it's going out. If it's still popular and they can still make money off of it, that's where the money is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of money in collecting too. Like these collectors.
Especially if Disney and Lucasfilm don't have to pay to make it, because they had Disney Infinity, and the reason why that didn't go very well is because they had to make it, and they overmade the figures, and people weren't buying them. So they canceled the whole deal. They canceled their whole video game company and just licensed the stuff out. And they got their money back.
You know what I think is a waste of money? Star Wars memorabilia.
What?
The damn lightsaber hilts. Man, I don't want no fucking hilt. I want to see that shit pop out. I mean, I wouldn't pay all this too because I saw like even Mace Windu.
Expensive, the good ones.
Bro, I'm not spending no $400 or $500 for
Facts.
Just no hilt.
I'm just mad that I didn't take classes in high school where I could like actually learn to make those. I'd be making so much money right now.
Make a lightsaber? What are you talking about?
Yeah, I could just make lightsaber hilts if I knew how to
Oh, I thought you were talking about an actual. I'm like, what is you?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that must be some easy money because it don't look hard to do if you know what you're doing. But like I saw, they had a Darth Revan and they had a Kenobi one and the Dark Saber. Man, it was like $249, $259. It's like shit. No, that ain't happening.
Too much. Yeah, I agree. Not happening. They have this
But I will buy
self-transforming Optimus Prime that I want. You know what I mean? When I seen the
that
price,
was like $700.
yeah, when I seen the price for that, I was like, "Are you crazy?" Yeah. I want one of those one-up machines that Donnie has, and I showed him the price.
No. But I will spend $100 in a Mandalorian watch. Boom.
That Optimus Prime, I think it has like 20,000 parts in it or whatever. What if one of them goes bad? Where do you go to fix that? I mean,
yeah, especially if you're spending $700 on it, that should last 5 years at least.
Say your wife or your kid or somebody breaks that accidentally, and that's an assault charge.
For real.
That is an assault charge because if they don't have the money right there readily, it's gonna be a severe ass weapon.
For real. You spend $700 for that, and you just snap off an arm.
Yeah. Fight.
Finish him.
What's that thing we used to play, Anzo?
Tekken?
No, the one with the guy that was cold, one was hot.
Mortal Kombat.
No. They're like animals and stuff. Saber wolf.
Killer Instinct.
Killer Instinct. Yeah, they had all that kind of music playing there, boy.
Yeah, for real.
Chris Knight, what's your overall thoughts, Bubba?
Overall thoughts, I don't know. It's The Mandalorian. I think it's pleasantly surprising. It's nice. This one kind of got off to a pretty good start. The one thing I will say is that here we go again. It's like refreshing the characters. Okay, fine. You got such an expansive universe. But no, I mean, I like the look of it. It went by really well. Made sense. And again, the recap at the beginning helps. Just kind of get you caught up on everything. And I noticed that they were recapping certain things that pertain to this episode from the past 2 seasons, so that was nice. There you go. Overall.
All right, Shifty. Overall.
I liked it a lot. I didn't like it as much as last season's opener, but I really liked it. I thought it was really funny at parts. And they did a good job of recapping a lot of things, especially from Book of Boba Fett, because not everybody saw that. Of course, they kind of breezed over the Grogu aspects of it, why he's back, but maybe they'll touch on that tonight. But one thing I want to mention before we move on is Jon Favreau kind of, I don't know, he shot off the cuff with setting up the timeline for the series, and where he said that the first three seasons took place over multiple years, and like the last, like Book of Boba Fett took like Grogu was with Luke for 2 years, and then Filoni came out a couple days later and said no, season one was like a year, and this has only been a year, so it's been like 2 years. So there's conflicting. I don't know. I think that they haven't really set them in stone. But what Jon Favreau said, I don't think is going to be the case, because there's too many problems to add up to that. Because if you look at Ahsoka trying to find out where Thrawn was back in season 2, you telling me she sat around for 2 years chilling with Luke and didn't go off on to find them? And then plus you got Mando. For 2 years, he sat around with that crazy lady on Tatooine working on the ship, while Boba Fett's over there trying to start up his empire. That don't make sense. I'm gonna go with Filoni saying it was only 2 years for the whole entire both shows.
I'm thinking Filoni is more the historian, and Jon Favreau is. To me, I like Jon Favreau's show better than I like Dave Filoni's show. So I think
Well, we haven't seen Ahsoka yet, because I'm thinking that's
no.
going to blow everything away.
No, but I'm saying we've seen Bad Batch,
Yeah,
2 seasons of it, and now we've done seen 3 seasons of Mandalorian, and I think Mandalorian is head and shoulders better than Bad Batch.
yeah, but like we said last week, we don't know how much input Filoni has on this season of the Bad Batch, because I mean he's spread too thin, because he's doing like everything now, and he's heavily involved with Ahsoka, so he may have just gave that to his underlings to handle this season.
Well, I think Ahsoka's gonna be better because I think she's more interesting character.
Oh yeah,
She's been
yeah.
she's been trained by the baddest Jedi, going Sith in the world. What everybody is saying, what the Lord's saying. So of course she should be a badass, and we saw parts of that in Tales of Jedi when he was training her. Man, I thought that shit
Yep.
was fire how he was training her, man. But anyway, Alsnader, what's your raw thoughts?
Alrighty, guys. After I saw the episode on Wednesday, I can positively and honestly tell you that it was absolutely mid. This episode was okay. It wasn't anything spectacular. Compared to the Bad Batch, it was like the best thing Star Wars I've seen all week, because you had the Bad Batch literally the same day, and the Bad Batch is just not good. Mando was fine. It did what the Bad Batch hasn't been able to do for so long. At least it set up its story early on. But there's still a lot of things that kind of are there'll probably be answers to it within the next few episodes.
Be very careful with the next thing you say.
Damn, I'm just like, well, it was fine, but I got my positives, I got my negatives, but overall it was all right.
I just don't see how anybody could just say it's fine though. I guess if you're counting this as Star Wars, but as anything else, I mean, this just compared to the TV that we grew up with, this is just amazing. Just for the special effects and stuff they're doing, like that fight, the first episode. I mean, we've never seen that before on TV, and now we're getting that regularly from all these shows. That's just mind blowing that we're here now. That the technology, I don't know, the technology that we're getting today for these shows is just great.
Yeah, some people like, oh, he's fighting a giant space alligator. I'm like, okay, motherfucker, you think you can do better?
Shoot him! Shoot!
Yeah, my overall thoughts was, I had a flashback of what's the movie like with Kurt Russell and Val Kilmer. Damn, they were the Cowboys. Doc Holliday and
Tombstone.
it was Tombstone when him and Apollo Creed was out there. He leaned against a tree and he damn near should have said, "I'll be your Huckleberry," because when he leaned up off the tree, is everything okay here? I was like, man, this is straight up doggone cowboy. So I liked it because westerns are some of my favorite genres of movie to watch. I think this season is going to be really good. I'm very curious to see how they're going to what's the word I want to use? How they're going to improve on the Luke Skywalker moment. That's going to be a hard act to follow. So how are they going to do better than Luke Skywalker? Now they could do the Mace Windu. That would be fire.
Well, I can tell you right now what happened because we've already seen it.
What?
They had the de-aged Indy in the trailer for the new Indiana Jones. I'm telling you, at some point we're going to see Han Solo pop up.
Oh God, that ain't no damn Luke Skywalker moment. Okay. Anyway, yeah, that's gonna be Luke Skywalker moment. I'm gonna give it a well. I ain't gonna say nothing. It's better be fire, but I don't see how.
Depends on what they have him do.
He must gonna come in the Millennium Falcon and do something crazy, but him just coming and shooting a few people. I mean, I don't see how that's gonna upstage somebody coming in and killing like 50 damn battle droids. But we shall see. We shall see. Chris Knight, what do you like about this episode, sir?
Okay, so one of the big things I liked is we were talking about when he lost the Razor Crest that this ship seemed really weird for him. Well, they put the ship to use immediately in this episode, and I'm like, okay, all right, I can go with that. The first time they showed this ship, they had Grogu sitting on his lap. They had it in this a little bit because they were sleeping, he was sleeping and Grogu was sitting there. But Grogu did use the bubble in this one, so okay, the bubble makes some sense now, because that's where your droid normally would go. That's not what this is for. I liked seeing Grief Karga again. It was nice, but the space fight, I loved that they brought that back. And it was like, we've not had a really good one live action for a bit now. So that was kind of cool to see, too.
Andor.
Yeah, okay, Andor, yeah. There was a little bit there, but not nearly as like this, so, yeah.
Okay. Shifty.
Okay. Hold on just a second here. I mean, I liked most of the episode. There's only like one thing that I didn't like, and I'll tell you here in a little bit. But, I thought the opening battle was just pretty amazing because I grew up wanting something like this on TV. And, all we used to get was those crappy sci-fi movies on Sci-Fi Channel where, you wouldn't even have the big, terribly CG'd creature in the same shot with the person that's fighting. It would be cut between shots.
That's true.
This is just on such a next level. I'm just enjoying it just for the fact that they have the technology to do that stuff. And
aren't you, not to play devil's advocate, aren't you about 20 years too late? Because we seen this 20 years ago.
Where?
Maybe not the extent of
in the movies, but not on a TV.
Maybe not the extent of the special effects we're seeing now. I'll give you that. But we've been seeing monsters in shots for 20 years now.
Yeah, but not like this. I mean, I was absolutely blown away with that Crate Dragon fight in the season premiere last year. That was like that, and I think Game of Thrones has pushed the technology so far that really anything is possible now just on television if they put the budget into it. And not all shows are doing that, unfortunately, Last of Us. But, it's just really great. I also love the Babu Frick's people working on that droid. I thought that was funny. I got a big laugh out of that. I liked seeing Carl Weathers back. I liked seeing Bo back. I think that, like I said, they did a lot of recap. But there was reasons to recap, and It was just a really good episode. I didn't have much I didn't like about it.
Okay. Alternator.
All right. Well, here's what I liked about the episode. I liked the I did like the space fight towards the end. I thought that was kind of fun. I mean, space dogfights are always fun. So I mean,
I agree.
you really can't screw it up, especially when you see the fucking salad man, salad pirate. That shit. Not gonna lie, I kind of marked out for it. I don't know why. It was kind of dumb. It was a guy that looked like lawnmower.
Pizza the Hut.
He did not look good. He looked like animatronic to me. It did not look like an actual.
Horrible.
I know, that's why I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, I was like, they kind of
Looked like
they should have spent some money on that, but it looked like some kind of.
It almost looked like what is it? The bad guy in Galaxy Quest, which was purposely done like over the top.
Mm-hmm.
This one just looked like, I don't know. It didn't really fit. And yeah, I know you got to introduce new species and stuff, but it just didn't seem to fit in Star Wars.
You look disgusting.
Imagine your newest species is just a big pile of lawnmower clippings.
Or like
Somebody said it looked like the trash pile from the Fraggles.
you know, or yeah, it's a bowl of lettuce with 2 round tomatoes as eyeballs,
Mm-hmm.
and a big giant cucumber.
What was the thing
smell.
on the Muppets that played the drums? Was it Animal?
Animal.
It
Animal.
looked like a green version of Animal to me.
Mm-hmm.
I like Reef Karga. Seeing him again was fun. I like Carl Weathers. I like that he's kind of having this like leadership role, and you see how the planet is thriving under him, and it was fun. I liked it. The opening where you see the initiation for the Mandalorian, or the Mandalorians, sure. The Mandalorians, those were fun. That was cool. Especially seeing how they get initiated, and how they become Mandos, I guess you could say. Although, again, I thought it was really funny that the helmets that they put on the kids are literally those toy helmets.
Mm-hmm.
Like
That
you
see in
get
the
for
store.
Mm-hmm.
exactly. I thought that was pretty fucking hilarious.
But did you see when she put on his head, it locked on like Tony Stark's
Yeah.
armor? Did you notice that? I was like,
That didn't make sense. Really.
how is that possible?
It was very strange.
Yeah.
And then you don't see the technology where, because Mando, he can see all that heat visioning and different things. I didn't see all that being put in there, but anyway, go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
And I also liked how in this episode it kind of, because this has been my issue with Bad Batch for a while, is that they took so long to establish a story, whereas this episode basically went, okay, here's the story, here's where we're going with it, and I like that because it doesn't feel, because that way it doesn't feel like the entire time I'm going, all right, what's the point? Why am I watching this? Where's the payoff? Now it's like, okay, we're getting something here. It's not a lot, but I'm not expecting that for a first episode. I'm expecting more like you set up and then you build off of that with the next few episodes, which I appreciate. Other than that, I mean, the pirates were fine. I mean, again, like, there's really nothing that's really all I got in terms of my likes. It was fine.
Okay. I liked a lot of it. I liked the opening fight where Mando came in and saved him. I like to see the conversation between him and the armorer. But to me now, it's like, okay, like she's about to bathe this kid in water. So if that's going to be their new home, there's going to be some kind of way they can redeem themselves there if they fall out of favor. So why can't he do the same thing? Like she's about to bathe him in that water, or he's going to drink the water or do something before that crocodile creature came up. And now he got to go to Mandalore and bathe or do something in that water. So I'm like, okay, so if you believe that your home world is destroyed and what once worked there for redemption, why can't you do that somewhere else? Maybe that's a dislike, but I did like the fact too that they made reference to Kyle Vanth and also Cara Jade. So we're not wondering what's going on with her since we know the actress is no longer a part of it. But maybe that's light at the end of the tunnel that maybe they can fix that and she may come back. Maybe they will recast. I don't know, but I don't think we know the character is not dead. At least it didn't say she got killed in some kind of accident or anything, and that she was recruited by special forces. So I like that. I also like the fact of, like I said, the cowboy scene. They pulling back their coats and quick drawing and Mando taking out 4 and all that kind of stuff. I like that kind of stuff. So to me, I think we getting kind of used to stuff that's being so fast and out the gate. It had points of being kind of fast, like in the first scene, and then the cowboy scene, and then the scene at the end where he's in the dog fight with the pirates. So to me, it showed a whole lot more promise, and I'm more excited about seeing it versus the Bad Batch. And tonight, I'll probably see it before I go to work tomorrow morning. But I really liked it. All right. We will start with Shifty this time.
Wait, I don't get to talk about my positives?
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's like, forget the black guy over there. Fuck him. Right?
Wow.
That's probably like, you probably don't have no goddamn positive anyway, so let me just skip big forward. Okay, so I did like the space battle. I thought that was pretty good. That was like a good space battle. I thought it was okay. It wasn't great. Like, it was one of the best space battles. One of the moments that made me like really chuckle was like Shifty said with the Babu Frick things, but when Baby Yoda grabbed the Babu Frick and was holding it like it was a baby and wouldn't let it go,
I thought he was about to eat it. That's what I was thinking.
It wouldn't surprise me if he tried.
That little sucker like to eat everything he get.
So that was a like that I liked about it. I like the fact that, like you guys said, we're getting at least the story, like what's gonna happen, but I do see a side quest coming up. Yeah,
the first side quest, you gotta get that part for IG.
Exactly, right? So I see that, and I have a feeling that they're gonna end up like having side quests episodes, and I don't think we need any more of those. I think we get to it. He goes to Mandalore like he did at the end of the episode, helps reunite the Mandalorians together so that they can go on and do a battle. And maybe on the way they find the piece he's looking for, but I don't need to see him go off on a side quest to go find it and then come back to bathe. And then, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just like, oh my Lord, okay, please don't do that. But yeah, those were my positives.
And I also did like the multicolored uniforms that the Mandalorians was in.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. To me, his looked the best out of all of them, but I like the way they got the different styles and stuff. I don't know exactly what the colors mean or something. Maybe it's in their own personal colors, I guess. But I like how that looked.
I agree. And the one thing that I did like is at the beginning, right? I know Shifty talks about that crocodile thing. I'm like, whatever. I wasn't impressed by that. But it made you think that the ceremony was like a flashback to what Mando being.
Yeah.
And then
I thought she called him his name, did she? I thought she was saying Din Djarin. That what she? What was the name she called little boy? I thought because I thought it was a flashback of him getting his helmet for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
I thought she said Din. I thought she was about to say Din Djarin, but maybe she wasn't.
Yeah. Well, that's about it. Yeah, I got a lot more dislikes.
All right.
And I'll be right back.
Okay. Shifty, what are your dislikes?
Okay, to touch on the side quest thing, I think it's not going to be a big deal. I think the first place and the only place he's probably going to go is back to Tatooine to see that lady in the mechanic shop. And then when he's there, he'll probably just go over and see Boba Fett, and they'll just have, an episode where he teams up with Boba Fett or something. I don't think it's going to be a big deal. My main dislike, and they might have done this in the Clone Wars. I can't remember. It's been so long since I've seen early episodes of Clone Wars and Rebels and stuff. But the voices for the pirates just bugged the bejesus out of me. I miss the days when the aliens had their specific, their own languages and voices, and weren't speaking basic. The Pirates of the Caribbean accents, it just felt off, especially the boss man leader at the end. Yeah, he was a bit much. The design was a bit much. It was. I hope it leads to.
You
I
can't
have a
hear
headache.
me.
Sorry.
Oh,
Okay.
I'm trying. That's why I took this off.
you thought you was
I'm just trying
meditating, like you was
No.
praying to Allah.
No, trying to. My sinuses right here. Using my knuckles to push it up and out. Sorry, guys.
I hope these pirates leads to an appearance by Hondo because he was a pirate. So I still think the people that was guarding Grogu in the first episode of Mando was Hondo's men. Somehow they gave it to him, and he was protecting Grogu for 50 years or whatever, or how many years? 5 years, 50? I don't know, whatever. But I think that's might lead to Hondo showing up. But my only real complaint was the pirates. They off-putting. Somebody's vacuuming.
That's me. That's my daughter.
Oh.
Can't control that.
That's it.
Alternator, what was your dislikes?
Okay. Look, I understand why they had to redo the whole, or they had to do the whole where he goes to the, oh God, what's her name? At the beginning, where Mando's
The armor.
The armor, thank you. Where the armor is like, you're no longer a Mandalorian, and then Mando's like, I'm going to Mandalore. I get it.
I'm going. Doesn't matter if it's there or not. I'm going.
Listen, we've talked about this before. I'm gonna go. You can't stop me, no matter what. No matter how many times we have this conversation. I'm gonna become a Mandalorian again. So you know what? You just go away, armor. I understand why they did it because I hope not a lot of people. I hope people did not see Book of Boba Fett after watching it, but I just feel like it was like a recap to a recap. You know what I mean? Like it just felt like okay, we get it. Did we really need to have this conversation again? Type of thing, but it didn't really work.
What is your major malfunction, numbnuts? Didn't Mommy and Daddy show you enough attention?
Maybe not enough, I guess. I don't know.
It did.
It's false.
It did bring up
Not this time. We created it. Not this time. No, not this time. It's totally made up. Pure fiction.
They did bring up they did bring up a new aspect to it because in this episode they mentioned that the water of the planet was poisoned. I went back to Book of Boba Fett and they didn't mention it there. So this is what leads to him going back to get IG-11. So they stuck that in there.
I mean, I'll give you that, but at the same time, it's like I feel like that the Book of Boba Fett Mando episode, or I'm sorry, the Book of Mando episode, I feel like that was a better first episode than this because it's basically setting up the same plot. I thought the whole Bo-Katan scene where she's like slouched in her chair like me every time I watch a Bad Batch episode on Wednesdays. It's like, I'm like, okay, are we really doing the subverting of expectations?
Yeah, well, that's just like your opinion, man.
And you know what, Austin, to your point, when I seen that scene, I was like, so what? She just sitting in that chair like that all freaking day, waiting for someone to come? Like, really?
Like, damn, bro. I was like, she's lazy, man. I'm telling you.
You know,
she needs some lightsaber action.
Yeah,
for real. Some black lightsaber action.
That's what I'm talking about.
She needs some long mileage.
She's needing some dark saber action.
Pretty much.
I felt like that whole interaction was just like, to basically recap it, it's basically just, Mando's like, hey, I need your help, and then she's like, no, I'm good. I'm just gonna sit here.
That was just her getting paid. That's all that was.
Yeah,
there was no use for that that interaction.
I agree.
No, there wasn't. It's like it's a subverting of expectations moment. It's like
It was set up.
It was cool to see the castle.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's a setup. I think it's there because we're going to learn a lot more about these things. She's given up because she thinks that. But then Jaren isn't going to give up that easy. And then I think she's going to come back into play in the later parts. But anyways, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, that may be the case, but I just felt like the way they went about it was just like, really? Like, what was the point? Especially when Mando's like, hey, I'll help you. And then she's like, no, I don't want your help. I'm just going to sit here. It's like, okay, well, that was a waste of time. Also, like, and I got to point this out, that whole scene where they're in Babu Frick's place, I thought was some of the most, like... It was fun for, like, the first, like, maybe couple minutes, but then once it started to drag on, I was like, all right, really? Especially, and then having Grogu literally, like, kidnap Babu Frick, it's like, all right, I'm kind of rolling my eyes a little bit, but...
Wait, that was fun.
No. That's really all I got. I mean, episode wasn't bad, it was just... Those are just some of the things that I was just like, could have been better.
All right. Also, what are your dislikes?
So first off, right, I'll go to the beginning. She's in there making the helmet. How long were those people standing outside waiting for her to make that helmet? Because it looked like that would take a minute to do, right? And she walks outside and they're just standing there. So I'm like, okay, that's interesting. So that was an issue. Also, God, I lost my train of thought now. Oh, the freaking pirates, the dialogue it's terrible. It is terrible. I do not like it at all. I'm like, this does not sound or feel like Star Wars dialogue. Like it just, and the pirates didn't like them. Did not like them at all. I thought, they looked horrible. It was just weird to me. At the beginning, if you didn't watch Book of Boba Fett, you basically had no idea why Grogu is with fucking Mando again. Like they could have give some people at least a little flashback as to him picking Mando instead of Luke, right? You don't get none of that. So I think that was a big issue. Not everybody was probably going to watch the Book of Boba Fett because that was garbage, right? Still was better than Andor though. But
nope.
What else?
Nope.
Yeah, it was. But what else didn't I like? There was something else, and I just slipped my mind. Go with someone else, and if it comes back, I'll bring it up. Because I don't remember what it is.
All right, Mr. Knight. What were your dislikes, sir?
Biggest dislike I have, and I had to remember this, but I got it back. Nav computers are designed to find the quickest point A, point B travel time, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And literally, I don't think I guess in the first Star Wars, we kind of get an idea that there's lounging time. But I don't know if I've ever gotten the idea that there's enough time to sleep while you're in hyperspace. And how that's not dangerous. And Grogu's awake. Grogu doesn't know how to fly that ship. And it's the whole thing. And again, I think go back to the original Star Wars, why it's important not to sleep, and why I don't think we've ever seen that necessarily. At least not that I remember. I guess I'd have to really go back and look. But
yeah, well, the first movie.
Wait, in the first movie, when they get to Alderaan, it's in shambles. That these things show you why why he shouldn't be sleeping. And we don't know if he's sleeping because he's he's got the helmet on, but it does look like he's sleeping and Grogu's awake. It just bothered me. It's like, it was just there to show Grogu going like, ooh, pretty lights, this is amazing. But he's already been through that. He's seen this before. So it's weird that they're focusing on that. That just seemed like an unneeded.
Wait, no, Chris, the whales, dude.
Stop. What?
The whales. That's what he was looking at, the whales.
That's right. Okay, yeah. Okay, but still, it's like, I don't know. It just, the whole thing about it just seemed kind of unnecessary for the show. It just kind of seemed like. Back to Grief Karga. It's like, okay, we're back to, it's like, and I think this goes back to what Anzo said. Go get the part. Come back to this main place. Go get this. Come back to this main place. Go to here. Do that. That is kind of, you gotta watch doing that. Okay, they gave us the lamest excuse for not having Cara Dune on this season. She got a promotion now. She's back to Special Forces. Da, 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 da. It's like, really, Disney? This is your thing. We all know what happened. So why even bring her up?
How is that lame?
And that's what she was going to do anyway.
Yeah, but it just, I just.
And also that leaves
all the uproar about it, though.
Yeah, but they might didn't want to kill the character. That way they can can still keep the character, but recast her.
I don't know if that would be a smart move either. I don't know. Those things.
I think they should have killed the character.
And maybe that should have been the thing. I don't know. But those are irks, not total dislikes. Other than that, that's about it. They're just irks. It's like, should have done better. That's what I have.
My dislikes. I'm trying to think. There's nothing I really dislike. I agree with also Carl Warner saying thing like, damn, how long they wait for this ceremony? Or is it something that she does and then maybe they signal something and then they get into formation? Maybe it was something like that. They just didn't show that part of the process. But it sure seemed like that would take a long time from start to finish. But other than that, I don't like the pirate, the head pirate. He looked like I said, animatronics or some kind of bad puppet at some kind of puppet show that somebody threw away, and he said, okay, let's use it, repurpose it to do this right here. I don't think he's going to be a main. I don't even think he'll be reoccurring. If he does, I'd be really surprised.
I think he's going to come back because they show a scene where all the Mandos are fighting the pirates, right? Okay. So I think that pirate might come back.
Yeah. His henchman looked better than he did. It does, like I agree with what Shifty says. That everybody speaking English is a little crazy. That they don't have their own language, or at least they could talk in it, and then we see the subtitles, or then maybe they could go back and forth, speak a little bit.
Didn't they answer this that his helmet translates?
I don't know, but Carl Weathers' character don't have a helmet, and he can hear him perfectly fine. So I mean,
they changed all that back in the prequels. They started using actual voices instead. Like in the old movies, the original trilogy, they had their own voices and stuff.
Yeah. It would be cool if they maybe started off in their language and then, but kind of like how, and I was like Creed with the girl, they did the sign language, they did the subtitles. I thought that was fire. It was good. But I'm with Shifty on that. They need to have their own language. And then maybe for the first portion of the conversation, have it in subtitles, and then they could speak English, but it wouldn't be perfect like they're doing now. It could be like broken or something, or some kind of accent or something.
I hate to say it, but it feels like Star Wars. Star Trek. You know what I mean? Like everybody's speaking this proper English.
Yeah, but at least they had a translator. Star Trek has always had that. Okay, we got the universal translators.
Yeah, no, I agree with that 100%. They're the translators, but still, it's like everything is proper English, and even here now, it's like everything is proper English with these aliens, and I'm just like, that don't that don't fit right to me.
Yeah.
Nothing disappointed me more than in the Clone Wars when they revealed that Bosk talked like a normal person and not some, the dinosaur-looking bounty hunter.
Like a snake or something. He should have like a hissing snake sound.
Yeah. He was in Empire Strikes Back. He was the brown lizard dude. He had a regular voice. He didn't have some kind of cool like alien voice accent.
The only thing they stayed true to, Shifty, was we could never understand the Sand People.
Yeah,
they did whatever that shit was. And Jabba the Hutt. We never. So I don't know why they chose those two. And the Wookiees. Don't know what the hell they saying. I don't know what all that whatever they be saying. Don't know what that is. But those are the only three that I could think off the top of my head, and they stay true to them having a different language that we don't know. Even in subtext, they don't even do that. It was just whatever the grunts and clicks and whatever the guttural sounds they make. So I think they should do more of that. And I think it would be more authentic than what we're seeing now. I guess they're trying to. If it's for kids, I can see where they're coming from because kids
at least have the pirates speak Huttese.
Yeah, the kids ain't gonna read all the subtitles and stuff. So I guess it's easily digestible if they put it all in English. I guess. But that's really the couple things I didn't like. What y'all said, kind of piggyback on some of the points each of you made. All right. Everybody went on this round, right? I didn't miss anybody. Next will be grades. What do we give this episode grade? And I will start with Alternator. What's your grade, sir?
All right. I'm just gonna go. I think I'm just gonna go flat C. I think solid. Wow. It was solid. It wasn't spectacular.
You want to put that poll up, Chris?
I did.
It was a solid start though. As far as what's gonna happen later on, I don't know. I'm kind of intrigued. Obviously he's gonna go to Mandalore. They're gonna rebuild the droid. It's gonna be some fun stuff. I mean, honestly, it's one of those things where it was not a bad episode, but I'm kind of intrigued still. So at least that's something.
All right, good deal. Shifty, what's your grade, boss?
I'm gonna give it an A, maybe an A- just for the Pirates. Yeah, I liked it. I really enjoyed it. But I think they're going back to Tatooine, like I said, to get apart from the mechanic lady, and maybe he'll go see.
You want to grade it so high because where are you going to go for improvement?
Well, that's why I go A-. I broke the barrier of grades on Andor, so
Oh God, yeah, you probably went A, triple A, quadruple A.
Yeah. But I think they're going back to Tatooine. May see Boba Fett, whatever. People are saying that Bo-Katan might be turning on Mando. I don't think that. I think they're going to. I think the armor might pull something at some point and try to challenge Mando. I don't know. I think they may subvert our expectations there. And I need to rebuttal on what Chris was talking about earlier about the hyperspace stuff. I mean, that scene was absolutely needed. It might be the most important scene in the whole episode because.
Whoa! How is it the most important?
They brought the Purrgil into live action and showed them. Not only was that set up for Ahsoka, which they're probably going to be dropping hints all through the season leading up to Ahsoka, because that's going to be such a big show. No, hold on. But a lot of people haven't seen the Rebels or the Clone Wars. They just avoid the cartoons. That build interest right there. Like, what are those things in hyperspace? We've seen hyperspace all these years in all these movies. What are those freaking whales? They've never seen this stuff. So they're probably going to do some research.
Let me answer that.
Okay.
That is for people who have seen it and like that. And that is eye candy, and that is all that was for.
That was not eye candy. That was stuff building.
Was eye candy.
That is the main reason why they're going to look for Ezra and Thrawn is because they got transported to the other side of the universe by those Purrgil. And that is such an essential plot piece. They're going to build on that. They're going to drop hints and stuff. That is such a big scene there.
I agree with Shifty on that. I don't know about as big as you say it is, but I think it's important.
I just think it's eye candy. But no, here's the thing: the people who know what you're talking about, yes, it's great, and we know where it's going. The people, I don't know if people are really going to pull into it and dig into it.
But what he
Some
said
people
is
used to watch these.
What Shifty said, I agree with what he said, because my first thing my grandson said, "What is that?" I said, "That's the Purgle." He said, "What's that?" I said, "You go back in Rebels," because he hadn't seen Rebels yet. So, but you go back in Rebels and you'll see those are the things that was used to transport some of the key players from that space, our space, to a different part of space. And it kind of clicked. You kind of saw a light. So I think if you're interested in Star Wars, that you'll go back and do your research. But if you're not, then like you said, Chris, it won't matter. But the ones that, like, damn, I think it's I won't give it the importance that Shifty is, but I think it's a very nice piece of Easter egg that is going to play somewhere in this show and possibly transfer over to Ahsoka. I agree with that statement.
The only thing I will say is I don't think it comes up again in this show. I think it may come up in the Ahsoka series, but in this episode, I think that was like
eye candy here. It is eye candy.
It's not eye candy, but I don't think it's going to come up again. I think they'll have other things that hint towards Ahsoka, but not the Purgle.
But that's what I'm saying. So for this show, that is eye candy. It won't pertain to this show necessarily. It is there,
or it could be
Easter eggs,
or it could be like a flashback, like in Boba Fett. Because I know everybody else that was on this panel complained. He get back in the tube and he going back flashback. So maybe every time they go in the damn hyperspace, maybe Grogu will see them things and be like, "What the hell that is?" Or maybe they may do that. And I know that Anzo doesn't like that kind of stuff, but that may happen.
Well, we'll see. It could be. Maybe that's how they find out. Maybe we see more of it in the hyperspace, but I just have a feeling that we'll get more information in the Ahsoka. And I was just like, hey guys, look what we have here. You know what I mean? And it's coming. Don't worry. Something like that. That's what I feel it was like.
Yeah. What's your grade, Alonzo?
I'm gonna give it a slightly better grade than the Bad Batch, so I'm gonna give it a C.
Okay. All right. Mr. Knight, what's your grade, sir?
I'll give it a B. I like the setups and all that. I am worried about the side mission stuff, but I like that they're bringing back IGA. I like that. I think we're going to get a lot of Mandalorian lore in this. Now, granted, that's going to make a ton of people pissy and a ton of people who are going to tear into it because they're going to use legends as no, that's not how this worked. No, as far as what we know in this canon, this is going to be the best thing we can get to what we're going to know about Mandalore. So I'm interested in that. I like the setup. I think it's a good first episode for season 3, and it felt different than the other seasons. So I like that. So that's what we got.
So
go ahead.
What you're saying is people will be saying, "Man, the lore isn't as good as the EU." Rimshot.
Can you please kick him and give him? That's why you need the Sarlacc pit.
For real.
That is why he needs to be thrown in the Sarlacc.
Man, I can't believe I actually agree with some of what Shift's saying. That's
a problem.
You know?
That's going to be a big problem.
I haven't had the Sarlacc pit in quite a while.
Yeah, well, he doesn't have that.
That's very concerning. That needs to be fixed.
Let's see. I know I got something for you. Where is it at? Damn. Where you at? Damn clip. I guess I don't have it. Oh well. Sorry. Oh, there you go.
Not the belt.
I'm not Dan Lamb. We need that. Shut the fuck to the climb the top of shut the fuck. That woman, boy. I watched that clip about 50 times. I'm gonna give this a B2, like Chris said. I'm gonna have room for improvement because there's no way I'm gonna give this an A down because I'm pretty sure that there are gonna be different episodes that's gonna be better. I'm gonna leave that room for. In fact, I'm gonna drop down to a B minus. I'm gonna give it a B minus. I'm gonna get a few grades to breathe, pick up some steam and speed. Because I think I've seen an episode where I think Mandalorian probably went the way it looked like he went and accomplished his goal. And he's coming out the cave. He's walking through the other Mandalorians like he's about to go kick somebody's ass. So I'm thinking that episode, whenever it comes, is going to be pretty fire. So yes, I'm going to give it a B minus at this particular time. Well, this is the end of the show. We were on here for a little over an hour, which is, to me, the sweet spot. Of course, for those of you that like Mandalorian and Bad Batch, it's coming on tonight, starting at 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I know I won't be up to see it, but I'll probably catch, for certain, the Mandalorian before I go to work tomorrow in the morning. So, before we get out of here, I'm going to go around and ask everybody, where can you be found, what you're doing, what's going on in your neck of the woods, and we're going to start with Austinator. What's going on with you, Austinator?
Nothing much at the moment. But you guys can find me on my channel. I do a bunch of stuff over there. Depending on what happens on Saturday, we'll be ranking the DC animated movie universe movies that we were reviewing for the last few weeks. So that should be a fun stream. And I'm also on everybody else's channels. I'm on the Bad Batch Roundtable as well as the Mandalorian Roundtable. You should check these out. They're a very fun experience. You guys can also find me usually on Zach Axiola's channel. I'm on Anime Talk, where we talk a bunch of different anime and a bunch of other things. So just check me out when you can. Also on the Hangout, usually on Wednesdays. So Danny, thanks for having me on. This was fun.
No problem, bro. Not a problem. Shifty, what's going on in your neck of the woods, sir?
Hey, thanks for having me on. You can find me on Twitter, where I argue with Twitch girls about April O'Neil bull crap.
Good Lord, that is crazy. I watched. There's no way I'm sticking my toe in that pool.
I've got like 1,000 likes off of it. Just one comment arguing with this lady. I mean, it's insane. This is like the Little Mermaid controversy times 100. It's just insane.
No, that's crazy. I'm not spending any minute of my life arguing about some fictional character whether or not she's black or white. That is totally crazy. But anyway, if it rocks your boat. Mr. Knight, let's go on your neck of the woods, sir.
Real Review 3000. That's where you can find me. Also, Khaos Central and Hotstar YT. Next week, we're going to be doing the Name That Tune finale. Got 4 great people. I think one of them is in here. Shifty, who thinks that he knows everything, but knows.
I do not. No, I don't. I never claimed that.
Anyways, you can find me there. The Rumble will be coming back soon, very soon. Just trying to get everything together so we can just go straight through it. Of course, the roundtables, the shows on Khaos Central here and all that. We've made it up to 302 subscribers, I think. Guys, please tell people about this. We are trying to get monetized on here. We have there are some things we hopefully will have here coming up soon. That are going to add some stuff to the channel, more stuff. And, yeah, I mean, thank you, Danny, for doing this. I appreciate it. Yeah, I appreciate it 'cause there's a lot of stuff going on, so thank you.
Mr. Anzo, what's going on your neck of the woods, sir?
Yes. Bigger Forward Entertainment. Tomorrow night will be the OOC. Got a few good topics on there. We had a 37-year-old woman that had a baby with a 13-year-old and that didn't go to jail.
What the hell?
We will be discussing that.
You discussing the 4 people from Lake City, South Carolina that went over to Mexico and 2 of them got killed?
Oh, no, I didn't even know that. I'll have to look on that.
That's from my hometown. I was next door neighbors with one of the person's dad.
Damn. Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Wow.
that made national news. Like the FBI had, got involved.
Oh, I'm gonna check that out. We also have the Gay BCs. So,
Oh Lord.
yes. There was a book in school that was called The Gay BCs. And then we also had another parent who found another book in his school that was, anyways, we'll see when we talk about it on the OOC tomorrow. Guys, make sure to check it out. It's going to be a fire show. Thanks for having me, Danny.
Not a problem. And of course, I am Danny, aka Comic Chat. You can find me here. I think we're gonna do this on Sunday nights along with Chris. I think Chris probably do 7, I'll do 8. Until we get through this season. This was just like a special kind of catching up since we started kind of late. Work get involved a lot of times, so we have to kind of work around our schedules. But you can find me Monday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Khaos Central on one of the 3 shows that we have there. Next week, it should be on Zod Chaos List. I'm sure that show will be fire. Make sure you watch the replay of last night. It was a very good show. We had the top 21 actors we named, and we each named our favorite actor movie they played in. It was a pretty good episode like that. So watch the replay if you haven't watched it already. Tomorrow night, I'll probably be, I'm not sure, my work schedule. I usually try to jump on Anzo's show or either be in the chat to support it one way or the other. I'll be out on the Hangout probably tomorrow if I'm not working. And then, of course, on Sunday nights, you can find me 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Storms Live, which is Robert Storms. Usually it's me, Guy Scar, Anzo, Adam, Robert Storm. So make sure there's a lot of places we're at. So if you want to watch some good, fun content, we try to always give you good, fun content. Make sure you tune in to one of those shows, man. And until next time. Oh, go ahead.
You want me to go over the polls really quick? Or?
Yes, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
All right, I just checked. First one was, did you like this episode of Mandalorian? Yes, 80%. It was okay, 20%. No, and it was horrible, 0. Then who is most likely to show back up? I should have said show up in this season of Mandalorian. Ahsoka Tano, Mace Windu, all the above, or Luke Skywalker. Ahsoka got 45%. Mace Windu got 27%.
Wow.
All the above got 18%, and Luke Skywalker only got 9%.
Wow.
And then the grade, B minus, B or B plus got 53%. A minus or A got 30%. C minus, C or C plus got 15%, and F, D minus, D or D plus got 0.
Wow, that's good. Very good.
Yeah.
All right. Like I said, we'll be back here next week, next Sunday. Same bat time, same bat channel. Until then, take it easy and peace.
Being a Mandalorian's not just learning about how to fight. You also have to know how to navigate the galaxy.